Welcome back to pre-season testing. You join us about 40 minutes, 50 minutes into the apologies, into the start of the afternoon session. And because it's just me at the moment, as you can see, I've got the camera in the bottom right and the timing tower up open as well. I'll see if I can move the camera to the bottom left actually, just to help you out a little. It means you can't see the... There we go. Can't see who's got DRS and how much laps the guys at the bottom of the timing tower have done, but you can at least now see all the names on the timing tower, so you'll be able to tell positions a bit better. So yeah, that's us set up and ready to go. Let's enjoy some Formula One. So, afternoon session, we have in the car Verstappen, Leclerc, Magnussen, Norris, Bottas, De Vries, Hamilton, Ocon, Sargent, and Alonso. Basically, everyone that we didn't see earlier on, we now do see, with the exception of Sergio Perez, who will be in the car tomorrow. The massive mug of tea is back as well for the afternoon session. But yeah, this should hopefully make it a bit easier for you guys to follow the session. Obviously, showing actual video footage would get us blocked, but I'm sure there's absolutely no issue with the timing data because it is exactly that, just timing. It's available in loads of places. So down here we've got the tyres. That T means the prototype tyre. So that's not one of the types of tyres that we'll see in the usual season. Then obviously you've got traditional soft, medium, hard. The rest is all pretty self-explanatory. We can change it from best lap to current lap time. Best sector 1, speed in sector 1, and then just our current sector 1 times. If we go into sectors, if it's working, breaks it down a bit more, gives you everything really. Mini sectors are unavailable, which is annoying. And then we also have tyre history, so if there's ever anything that you want to review, please do just let me know in the chat. So while there is a bit of a lull on track at the moment, bit of a lock up there from Valtteri Bottas. Down at turn 10. Quite an easy place to lock up actually, turn 10. But not too bad, not too bad. Let's send out some tweets, let everybody know that we're live. Because we did delay the start a little so I could have my lunch, basically. So I can. Well, I mean, I wouldn't hide the activity feed. Although it would be a bit easier to see everything if I could. I suppose I can just maximise this. Gets me a bit more space. But yeah, we're 3 hours 20 left of the session. And the Alpine needs duct tape on the mirrors. Obviously took a wee bit of a hit from perhaps a stone or something. So it just needs a little patchwork. The TV broadcast, if you've got it open, well, was on board with Charles Leclerc. He's decided to go for a slow lap. The guys on TV are talking about driver numbers. Question for you all. If you were to be a Formula One driver, which number would you choose and why? For those of you who dropped us a follow today, thank you very much. It's much appreciated. We hope you stick around and enjoy more from Turn 5 Live. Join us throughout the weekend for some more chats about testing. Hopefully some of the other guys will be dropping in as the day goes on. We've got Max Verstappen on, I was about to say a timed lap, but he's 3 seconds down after 2 sectors, so it's not a push lap. We'll see what time he posts anyway. He's on the medium tyre, as you can see on the data. Comes across the line to do a 1:36.6 from Max Verstappen. It's quite a slow start to the session, but that's because with it being the afternoon session, they will be waiting until the lights come on for, well, the floodlights light up the track. And we'll have a bit more of representative running in regards to next week's Grand Prix. So things should pick up a bit more then. But for now, we'll just have a wee chill bit, a wee chill hour or so as we wait on the sun to set and the floodlights around the Bahrain International Circuit to come on. yeah, you can see wasn't exactly a push lap from Lewis Hamilton as he's posted 17 minutes 19, likely an outlap, and it's included all the time that he was in the pits. He goes green through sector 1, still a second down on the the outright quickest, but it will be a slightly better lap from the 7-time world champion. I see they've fixed whatever was going on with George's steering wheel actually in Lewis's Mercedes. They don't have the wires just sort of hanging off it. It's a couple of seconds down. It's probably going to be about 135, 136 from Lewis, I would say. But they'll just be getting into it. This is Lewis's first run. Does a 135.9, slots into 12th position for the day. Almost exactly 3 seconds slower than the fastest, which was, of course, a 132.959. Thank you very much, Pricey, for following us. It's much appreciated. Lee, hello. Welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. I mean, it could be sandbagging. It could just be a slow Mercedes. We don't really know yet. Time will tell, really. I mean, it's not the slowest Merc. Russell did go 1.2 slower than Verstappen. And Lee, thank you very much for following. It is greatly appreciated. So, I mean, I think that's us up to 10 followers on Twitch. So, considering we only started streaming a couple of weeks ago, we're doing not bad, I'd say. We're doing not bad. But, yeah, if you have any points or anything on the session, feel free to make them. For now, it's pretty chill. Not very much is happening. We've got 3 cars on track: Leclerc, Hamilton, and Nick De Vries, who is of course making his full Formula One debut this season. Sorry, De Vries is in the pits. My preview hadn't updated that one, so it's just Hamilton and Leclerc on track at the moment. It's just Leclerc on track at the moment. But to be fair, that was better than when the session first started. I'm actually glad I didn't go live straight away, because nobody came out for about a solid 20 minutes or so. But that is pretty normal for the afternoon session. There's a bit of a post-lunch lull on the circuit. Move some cables so I can actually move. Wonder if Formula One will drop any big news on this session. They had dropped a couple in the last session, including the Formula One Academy calendar. We'll chat about that in a little bit in case somebody missed it. So we've got a few cars coming out onto track now. Felipe Drogovic has come up to the commentary box. I'll pass on any big insight that he drops in this conversation with Alex Jakes and co. We've got Alex Jakes, Lawrence Barreto, and Will Buxton with us for the first couple hours of the session. So the question of the day as to whether or not Felipe will be racing the first race of the year was just asked, and he, of course, says he doesn't know. All depends on Lance. So we just need to wait and see if Lance is deemed fit, really, for race 1 next week. Got 4 cars on track: Leclerc, Hamilton, Magnussen, and Bottas. 5 cars because Logan Sargent, F1 debutant, is now on his outlap. The only car we've not seen properly this session has been Alonso. He went and done an outlap and then an inlap. He's not really done anything of note. Set some sector times, but they're off the pace, of course. And he's not actually completed a full lap, so no lap time from Fernando Alonso. There is the best laps from everybody else so far. You've got the gaps right beside them. So what's everybody thinking about the season ahead? Are we looking forward to it? Do we think... Oh, I must have missed that. While I was having lunch. Right. Thanks very much for that, Lee. Yeah, I've generally just missed that during my lunch, or while I was trying to set up the stream. So, just been told that Alonso's car was broke during pit stop practice. Hence, well, I mean, you can see it on the chat in the top left, which I'll also move. I realise it's sort of in the way of the timing tower, because we're getting a few little changes up there. So let's just move this across to here. Bring it down a little. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Let's bring this down a little. And then if we get any more alerts, they can cover the timing tower because they'll only be up for a couple of moments. There we go. Much better. We've got everything set up again. So you've got the session time remaining just beside my camera. And then obviously everyone's best luck. Ignore the session finished icon. That's probably, well, that is just a glitch because it's testing strange in that the timings carry over from session to session, as opposed to the timers from FP1 don't carry to FP2, for instance. So that's probably why that session finished icon is still there. Bit of a wobble there from Sargent. Coming out of the final corner, just going a little wide. Still having a little chat with Drogovic. Drogovic, of course, being a little unfortunate in the first session, where after just 8 minutes he broke down. So that was sad for him, really. But these things happen. It was a dodgy sensor, we heard, caused the cutout of the car. Just listening to Felipe, really. Max just pounding in the laps really at the moment. I know you can't see the lap counter, but he's done 96 so far, which is the most of any driver today, and he's just went purple through sector 1 by 300ths. So we could see a new fastest lap. There is time for Max to find in sector 3 because he made a little bit of a mistake on his fastest lap. There was probably about 2/10 in there, at least, on his current fastest attempt. He's not gone fastest in sector 2. He's actually slightly down now by 1/10. So he's lost about 1/10.5 in that middle sector. But if he can find the time that he lost through sector 3, then we could still see a purple lap time. Let's find out. No, not quite. 600ths down. So a 1:33.0 from Max Verstappen there. Still a mighty good lap, but in terms of what we've seen today. Big lock up for Logan Sargent at turn 10. It's quite a common place to lock up, to be completely honest. Even in the game, I lock up quite a few times there. So it is a challenging corner. I'm actually going to check this. I'm really curious about the tyres. So we now have 6 tyre sets available in Formula 1. Last year's C1 has become the C0, so it's still the hardest tyre. But there's a new tyre that slots in between the C0 and the C1. In Bahrain, we're running the C1, so the new tyre, the C2 and the C3. In Saudi Arabia, we're running the C2, the C3 and the C4. And in Australia, it's also the C2, C3 and C4. What I'm trying to find just now is what every tyre looks like. Alrighty, so I've managed to find out. So, the C0 is white with no bracket. The C1 is white, like the hard tyre. The C2 is yellow with no bracket. The C3 is yellow, like the medium tyre. There's a C3 prototype, which has no markings at all. The C4 is red with no brackets. And the C5 is just red. So that's how you can tell the tests apart. Teams have 30 sets. And 2 sets of C3 Proto. So, I'm sorry, they say 30 sets, and then they've got 35 slicks, 2 intermediate, and 2 wets. And the prototype tyres are testing products from the Turkey backup factory against the tyres that are already commonly used. So now that I actually know the tyres, I'm going to be able to give you a bit of a better commentary on what tyre everybody is running. Because it's not as simple as just soft, medium, or hard. So how's everybody's... Did you all enjoy the morning session? And what are we most looking forward to in this season, would you say? So Charles Leclerc out there on the C3s at the moment. Having a few lock-ups at different bits of the track. So Lewis is out on what appears to be a proper push lap, and that he's using DRS. So this might be a bit of a better time from the 7-time world champion. He's coming up to the Sector 2 line now. It's only 7/10ths down, so had a bit of a wobble at the end of Sector 1, which would affect his time. But I'm expecting him to fly up the timing sheets, probably to about 4th, maybe 5th, depending on if he aces these last couple of corners. On the run down to the line, and Lewis Hamilton goes 5th. Max Verstappen now sitting on a century of laps, 100 for the day. And none of the other teams have actually hit the century yet, so that'll take some time. But those are impressive numbers to be on the century already. Because we still have 2.5 hours to go here in I nearly said FP1 here in testing day 1. Lee, I don't know if I would say Red Bull dominance. It's of course a testing session, so none of the times are indicative. And we're we're over 2 seconds slower than the pole position lap. As I mentioned in the morning session, fuel loads and stuff are all unknowns. Tyre compounds as well. I'm not sure exactly which tyre compound everybody set their fastest lap on, because the website isn't set up properly to show us that at the moment. So we'll wait and see, but for now, I think on day 1 it's really early to say who's looking good and who's not. Maybe over the next couple of days we might get a better view as they start doing a bit more performance runs. But yeah, we'll just need to wait and see, to be completely honest. The good news, everyone, it might not just be me rambling anymore. We might be getting another member of the podcast coming on shortly. I take that back. We don't. Oh, hi, Richard. How nice of you to stop by. If you're very dead, you could patch your lab session and come and watch pre-season testing. Or are you just going to piggyback off of my streaming of the live timing screen and use that while you're in the lab? Oh, an hour. There you go. So you could join after the lab. Don't leave me to hear myself the whole time. It's quite difficult. Yes. Yeah, Richard's coming on, everybody. So there will likely be a quick break when he's back, so that we can switch over to the correct one, so that we can both be on camera rather than just me, really. So have you seen any of the tests so far, Richard, or is this you literally just seeing the times for the first time? Or have you not managed to get your Sky Sports back yet? So you are actually piggybacking off the times. I mean, I'm glad that my internet's given me a bit of a better upload speed than it was earlier on at like 30 kilobytes a second. We're up into the thousands, which is a big bonus. Welcome to the new viewer. Hope you're doing well. We're just relaxing, enjoying the test. Feel free to post in the chat, be active, give me your views. I'll try and continue a bit of commentary. But it's difficult to watch the chat, watch the live timings, and watch the screen. We've got Lewis back out on track, crossing the timing beam now, 6/10ths down in Sector 1. So down on even his personal best in Sector 1, but we're now approaching the Sector 2 timing line as we come through turn 11 and up to the swooping turn 12. And it's 1.5 seconds down. Yeah, this isn't going to be a push lap anymore, I don't think. Leclerc up to P7. Good to see him sneaking further up the timings. Yeah, Alex Jake's making a good point there that although last season was Lewis Hamilton's first ever season in Formula One not winning a race, a lot of that will actually have been due to the cost cap, because in 2009 McLaren got the regulations massively wrong, but by halfway through the season they came in with a completely B-spec car, basically rebuilt it from the ground up. Mercedes couldn't do that last season, and that's something I hadn't actually thought of. They basically had to stick with what they had planned, well, what they had done, and so they were stuck. That Ferrari is porpoising like mad. It's actually scraping along the ground. It's not looking great porpoising-wise. Might need to stiffen up the ride a little. But for now, there's so many sparks coming off the underside of that Ferrari as it's coming along the track. We're hearing now from the Pirelli Motorsport Director, Mario Isola. Yeah, they're talking about the C0 and the new wet weather tyre. Why couldn't they just have called the C0 the C1, like left it as the C1, and brought the new C1 in as C2 and just bumped everything up a number rather than going for C0? It's just annoying. Compound at 0. No, no thank you. Compound 1 would be so much nicer. Oof, lots of sparks coming off Nick De Vries's car there as well. What I did notice in the morning session, there was a lot of deg on Carlos Sainz's front right. I don't know if that was just that tyre set, if he maybe had a really bad lock-up or what, but it might be something to watch out for, particularly in next week's race when they're going to have to run a lot deeper on higher fuel loads into the race, because Bahrain is traditionally a one-stop. A two-stop is possible. It is a track that you can pull off a two-stop on, but for the mainstay, it's usually a one-stop. Got three cars on track at the moment: Leclerc, Magnussen, and De Vries. The TV broadcast on board with Magnussen. He's down through sector 1. 2.5 seconds down through sector 2. This will just be another data collection lap. The sun is starting to set, so soon it'll be time for those beautiful pictures of the cars under lights. The reason that they put the metallic paint on when they come to Bahrain, just to make it really pop. Same with Saudi Arabia and Silverstone. No, not Silverstone. Singapore. And new for this year, Vegas. They'll be running the metallic paint most likely in Vegas. So I look forward to seeing those cars in the dark. So just a reminder for everybody, pole time in Bahrain last year was a 1:30.558. Let's actually put that in the chat so you've got it. So there you go. There's a pinned message for you to keep an eye on as the session goes on. It's a 1:30.588 is the pole lap. So we might get closer to that when the sun goes down, the track cools. But for now, we're probably going to be still sticking about the 1:33s, 1:32s. What I'll do for you guys is I'll change this back to lap time, so it shows you the most recent laps from everybody on track. And Alonso's coming back out. He has actually set a representative lap time now as well, 1.8 seconds off the pace. But, as I'm going to keep saying, the pace doesn't mean particularly much. Yeah, someone in one of the Twitter group chats I'm in, I shared the graphic about the tyres. I miss pink tyres. I do as well. I've said for a long time that we should bring back the Pirelli Rainbow, especially now that we're back up to 6 compounds. Each compound could easily have its own colour. You could call it the C0, 1, 2, 3, call it soft, medium, and hard during the race. That's totally fine. But they could have their own colour, especially for things like testing where all the tyres are available. Sure, it makes it a bit easier for casual fans to follow if they're always called the soft, medium, and hard. But I personally, as a bit more of a fan, preferred the rainbow and all the names for the cars, for the tyres. You can tell it's been a long day. So we're about 2.5 seconds off the pole pace. But if we have a look at the temperatures, you guys can't see that because of the camera, but the track temperature's down to 32 degrees. Just before the end of the lunchtime, with the morning session, that was at 47. So the track is cooling a lot. Good to know. Risk of rain for this session is 0. It was clearly a test of the black track limits system and the blue flags. During the yeah, you can see here from everything that they tested all during the hour's break. Because there you go, pit lane entry closed. That was when the session came to a conclusion. In fact, no, it isn't. The session ended earlier than that. There's checkered flag at 11:15. And then they clearly just had some fun with the systems through the off session. Yeah, cars 243, safety car 3, and medical car 1 were investigated for failing to follow the race director's instructions. So yeah, they were just testing everything out. The safety car got a black and white flag for track limits. Then a black and orange flag, so something wrong with the safety car apparently. Yeah, they were just testing everything out before the green light pit exit open at 12:15. If I remember correctly from last year, there will be a red flag test, I'm pretty sure, at the end of this session. Either that or it'll be another virtual safety car test this session, and we'll have a red flag test tomorrow. But that test basically just being they'll get the cars to go out, line up on the grid, and we'll have a start. So the lights out and away we go could very well happen today. It's being reported by journalists that Lance Stroll rode his bike with one hand, and now he's broken his wrist and might not make the first Grand Prix of the year. That was a bit silly. Currently chatting through the issues between teammates and how that can cause some chaos. Which, to be honest, I totally understand. Like, talking about it. It came up with Esteban Ocon has been known to have some issues with, or like rub teammates up the wrong way. So what's the duct tape on the inside of the wheel brow on the McLaren? Certainly some sort of problem with the McLaren just now. Not entirely sure what's happened to them, whether it's been damage running over the curbs or... But yeah, certainly some real problems at the moment. But we're about to find out some more. So I'm just going to listen in. So Sam Collins reporting it's a manufacturing fault, and so they may very well need new parts flown out from England. So Lewis Hamilton out on another timed lap, coming through turn 4 just now, and up to the timing beam, goes a bit wide there. Not sure that would be allowed in a race weekend. He's only a 10th down on Verstappen after the first sector. Through the hairpin and up toward the tricky turn 9 and turn 10. He's got to ace this if he wants a good lap time. So a green sector 1 through turn 9 and 10 beautifully, DRS popping open. Now on his way down towards the turn 11 and 12, those big swooping corners, which are a lot of fun, but very risky in the game. One tap of the curb can send your car facing the wrong way. Lewis Hamilton, though, he's lost a lot of time through Sector 2. He's 6/10ths down. Not posting a personal best in the second sector. Can he recover some of that time as he barrages himself down toward turn 14? Turn 15's basically non-existent in a Formula 1 car these days. He's on to the start-finish straight, coming up to the line. Lewis Hamilton goes P3 with a 1:33.5. There's more time in that Mercedes for sure. That could have been if he'd aced the lap through Sector 2. He'd done a 40.5. His best, though, to be fair, his best is also a 40.5. But there is for sure more speed. He was actually quicker in terms of the average speed than Max Verstappen in all three sectors. If we go into the actual sectors menu, we can see that here. Got side-by-sides between their last and their best. So Lewis has passed through the Sector 1 line again, which is why his times from the last lap have been cleared. But 5/10ths down, it's not too far. It is a good lap from Lewis. I mean, apologies again, everybody. It's been a long day, hence the yawning. We've got 2 hours 21 left of the session, taking us to 4:30 British time. Just taking a quick moment to flick through my phone. Let's go back to the leaderboard. We're already there. So we've got Bottas, De Vries and Sargent on track. Hamilton coming out onto an out lap. In case you've not worked out by now, the easy way to tell when you've got the timing screens open, if the name is dark, then they're in the pits. If it's lit up like this, then they are on their way out onto track. Now, I'm not sure if there's a day that we're going to have all 20 drivers on track, as good as that would be. Especially considering we are yet to find out Aston Martin's full testing schedule. So Bottas on a timed lap now. He's coming through the S's. 9/10ths down on sector 1 as he heads down toward that swooping hairpin at turn 8. Swooping hairpin, sorry, that tight hairpin at turn 8. Up towards turn 9 and 10. Hitting the apex beautifully as he shows off that green Floviz paint that they've got on the side. Trying to work out a bit more about how the air flows over the car. He's heading down toward turn 11. You brake and then just pick up the throttle slowly as you make your way through those two corners up toward the beam. He's 2.3 seconds down. This isn't going to be a quick lap from Bottas. We're seeing Lewis Hamilton going through on a slow lap on the side-by-side that Formula 1 are giving us just now. So he might be about to start a fast lap in a few moments. Lewis Hamilton only having done 24 laps so far, which is one of the lowest. But he's coming up to the line now, opens up DRS and is starting another timed lap. Let's have a look on the timing screens to see how he does. If we had the mini sectors, it would be a bit easier. We can see exactly where he's gaining or losing time through the track, through the lap. So he should be coming up to the line. A 29.9. So I believe that's down on his fastest. It is 3/10ths down on his fastest through sector 1. The Mercedes looking a lot more planted this year than it ever did last year.
Thank you very much, Julian Palmer, for watching on for us down at turn 11. It's a brilliant corner. This is a good racetrack for views. Doesn't matter if you're in the position that he's trackside at, over the drag strip, and then you walk across the drag strip and you get to turn 11. There's some fantastic grandstand seats around this place, and under the floodlights it just looks even better. It is a good corner, turn 11, to assess the pecking order.
Best of luck, Mel. I'm sure you're going to smash it. But be careful not to touch those wings. That'll be a 50 grand fine if you do.
On the opening day of Formula 1 testing in 2023, where the red flag was brought out by Aston Martin, very much was kind enough to join us in the commentary box a few minutes ago. But after that, you ran 40 laps on the board. I covered that nicely. The driver on the back foot in this session, McLaren of Lando Norris, 5 on the board and came to being made at the front of the car.
Just get that social media content.
Outside of the big three teams, Red Bull, Ferrari, conditions in the conditions that we'll have for qualifying the opening Grand Prix of the year in a week's time. We're on board with world champion. What lap is he on now? 109. This is the 109th turn of the day. E1 at the moment.
So Verstappen up to 108 laps, Sainz 72, Hamilton 26, Albon 74, Zhou 67. But I'm going to stop there because Max Verstappen just went purple through sector 1. A 29.408. He's coming through 9 and 10 now. Little bit of a twitch as he straightened up after turn 9 and 10. He's coming down to 11 just now. And he's gone purple through sector 2. 800ths up. Oh, but another big twitch there on the exit at 12. That might have lost him some time. Let's see, through 14. Through 15 and wide through 15 as well. But he still manages to go purple by a 10th. So the floodlights are on, which means the sun will be going down soon. We'll get to see these cars in all their glory. So as it turns out, in an actual race weekend, Max's lap would not have counted due to exceeding track limits at turn 4. But, of course, it's only testing, so the lap time stands. Also exceeding track limits at turn 15, for that matter. And Esteban Ocon locked up. Kept it on the track, but he's not had many laps, only 22. Not quite as bad as Norris, who's been held up by those repairs. He's only done 5. He'll be hoping to get out soon. So we're going to take a really quick break. I will be back with you all shortly. So sit back, relax, and I will see you soon. And thank you for your patience, everybody. We are back after that quick little break. Basically, I had to go and pour myself a drink. So yeah, we're getting a close look at the Mercedes just now on the broadcast. It is very different compared to everyone else. It'll just be interesting to see if it is better on track or not. We're still to find that one out, really. So 1 hour 55 left of the session. Should be having some people joining us in a little while, hopefully. We'll make it a bit easier. I'm not just sitting talking to a camera myself. So I thought I need to sneeze there. It's good to see F1 social media basically getting ready for the new season. Oh, that's an interesting thing that Matt and Tommy have pointed out. The Ferrari basically drove about with a massive dent in it. Matt, of course, a good friend of the podcast, having been on before. It's delightful to have him with us.
sitting in the car very patiently with that very distinctive, rather brash helmet. But the engineers here from Southern Motorsport are working quite hard on the right-hand corner of the Alfa Romeo. So not all going to plan on this Swiss-built, Italian-branded, and soon-to-be German-branded car in 2026. Seem to be quite secretive about the car as well. They usually are at this time of year, but really more so than normal. So just trying to work out exactly what it is they're trying to hide, because the more secretive they are, the more interesting we will get. Take a look at the, you can see the green light underneath the Formula One T camera, the onboard camera, and you can see the top of the rollover structure. That's an area of the regulations that was changed for the 2023 season. A lot of people expected those rollover blades to be outlawed, but again, Southern Motorsport have found a way around those rules, and they've got a rollover blade. They believe it's just as strong, but it's also a much lighter solution. And weight is a really important factor this season, because the weight limit has changed by 2 kilos, but the power unit weight limit has changed. The power units must now weigh 1 kilogram more than they did last year. Now,
I didn't know that actually. That the power units need to weigh a kilogram more than they did last year. So they basically have to, like the teams had to find an extra kilo to add to their cars to meet the minimum weight.
Still haven't had a good look at the side pods on the rear. Now, something, if we walk up to the back of the car here, we should get a good view of. They're doing pit stop practice, but they're going to come into the garage afterwards. You can see this is part of the trend of the cars this year. The side pods are so steep on the inside of the edge, so you can see just above the Cognizant logo how deeply and how steeply it drops down. It's like a Welsh valley or something. You can quite find the jets down. It's so steeply scalloped, and that's the most extreme interpretation of this side pod concept we've seen this year. But it's not
Just commenting on the steepness of the Aston Martin side pods. That is something that we picked up on the podcast, that they looked exceptionally steep. But seeing it on track, my goodness, they're fairly steep.
everything on that car has been made by Dallara or Ferrari, or some bits by Haas themselves. But it's very much a very interesting design from Haas. And I think
So who have we got on track at the moment? We've got De Vries and Magnussen's just coming out. And Norris, sorry, Norris. It's weird seeing Norris that low down on the timings. Now I'm expecting, now that the sun has gone down, if we open up this lovely tab here, yeah, the track temp's down to 29, air temp down to 23. So I think the times are going to start picking up if the teams really go for it in this evening session, now that the sun has set and the lights are on. It's the perfect time to enjoy what the cars look like. The McLaren, I won't lie, I don't like the livery, but it looks good under the lights. It does pop off quite a bit underneath those floodlights. What do you guys think that are watching? What do you think about the liveries? Have you got a preferred one? Is there one you don't like?
That's right. Can you walk back to Haas with the cameraman while we're talking? Marlene has tweeted to say Nick de Vries chose number 21 because it was the car's number during his first test for Mercedes, and it was another Formula retitle in 2021. That makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? That makes a huge amount of sense. And there you go, Nick de Vries, a world champion, and that's why he's chosen that celebrating championship year. So you sent me back down towards Haas. There was AlphaTauri. I don't know why you sent me back down to Haas, but I'm going to tell you now. do that. The car, by the way, I'm told by has 70% designed and built in Italy, 30% finished off in Banbury this year, which is the most they finished off at their factory in Banbury, and they've had a really good winter. They're very happy with that. Now, have a look at that Haas pit wall. What do you notice about it? It's very small compared to the other teams. Exactly. There's only 3 seats. Ayakomatsu's sitting nearest to us, and I can't see who's on the other one. So I guess they're doing their work in the back of the garage. Yeah, so it's deliberately small because they found out they had a couple of free seats last year that they never really used. And someone said, well, why don't we make the pit wall a bit smaller? And then someone said, well, why don't we want to do that? And they said, oh, because we can save some money shipping it around the world because it's that much smaller. And they reckon about $250,000 have been saved in shipping costs by reducing their pit wall for this season, which is pretty impressive in a cost cap era to lose a huge amount of
That is actually really interesting. So Haas have only got 3 seats on their pit wall. It's tiny. And they claim that they've saved up to $250,000 in shipping costs just by cutting down the size of the pit wall. I mean, so if that's true, it might be interesting to see if other teams follow their example.
last year at least, were the only 2 teams on the grid that didn't even reach the cost cap. So for that, in that reason, 250 grand, did you say, Bobby? Might go minimum a long way for the team in Banbury. You're right, Sam. It does save quite a bit in terms of sustainability and unneeded excess weight being loaded.
De Vries out on track in the Alfa Romeo Orlan. No, that was last year. The Alpha Tauri Orlan. But he's coming into the box.
Well, Crosby, I can tell you now that Nick Rollo and Ayakomatsu are listening to every word we say and laughing about what we're talking about. But I can actually do a little bit of grassing up of their driver, because if they look closely, if Ayakomatsu looks closely at his data, he'll notice that his driver on the way into the pits had a very big lockup and may have gone over the pit lane speed. Back to you guys. Thank you very much for your full comments. Brilliant insight, as ever, Sam. So, the things we talked about, interesting pit walls, used to be called the Brad Birch, I'm sure it still is. No idea why. No idea at all. And Nick Berger's quarters. Actually, what you remember your Super Girl things? You remember the yeah, I remember the painful test of them. Brad Birch up to Super Girl. Oh, yes. Because I spent the weekend building things for the team in the garage. That was the fiddliest, was it? Oh,
Ooh, big twitch from Bottas there. As we're starting to see the track the way we know it, shining underneath the floodlights in Bahrain. I mean, I say it all the time, but I love a night race. I think everything just looks better for a night race, to be honest.
consistency goes a long way from and you've been very consistent in the Formula 1 team, from pit wall design to the car itself. Oh dear, Jensen loved the fact that he moved the car in the previous season.
Someone was saying that they thought they seen someone on wets, so I'm just going to check their tyre history, because I'm quite curious. I certainly didn't see any wets. No, there definitely wasn't any used.
It was a great showcase. Unfortunately, I was on the receiving end of that, but with a team that had very little, if any, development in the season. It was unbelievable how you could start the year in a good P10, P11 position, both qualifying and race results, and then before the end of the year, you were fighting to not be on the back of the grid. That really goes to show the evolution of Formula 1 this season. I'm not surprised that we come here already faster this time last year, despite the rule change for thought to be higher. But there's the lockup. Here comes the mess. Well, this is looking out. Oscar Piastri with it. I think Oscar Piastri was a longer lockup. And during the couple of hours that we had some room in the pocket to talk to a few people. I mean, obviously in front of family audience, I can't compete an awful lot of it. He's absolutely on tip-top form and very much looking forward to this season. He's got a little smirk on his face. When you say
See, Christian still hasn't bothered putting on the Red Bull team wear. We were mentioning that earlier. Lewis Hamilton on an outlap. Bottas and Sargent also on track. Hamilton actually just coming by Logan Sargent. Do you know, for his first session in the F1 car, he's actually doing quite well. 41 laps so far. I mean, Lewis has only done 28, so Williams just quietly putting in the laps. They've now done 115 for the day. Mercedes not even hit the century, which is strange. Mercedes usually in testing go quietly and just absolutely pound in the laps. They put so much mileage. It's really weird seeing their lap counter so low when there hasn't been any widely reported issues down at Mercedes. Couple of setup changes, but nothing major. So Lewis coming up to the line, he's went yellow, it's not going to be a particularly quick lap, yeah. 5.8 seconds slower at 138.6 from Lewis Hamilton. Let's bring up everybody's best lap again, just to remind ourselves. So 6 seconds roughly separating top and bottom. But of course, when we come to the real thing, the gaps are going to be nowhere near that wide. Because it all depends on fuel loads, engine modes, aero settings. There's a lot to be played with, and it is only day one. The times are going to tumble as we go through the weekend. We will probably get closer to that 130.5 that we seen the last time in Bahrain.
exposed carbon fibre and a lot of black livery to go with the colours this year, but absolutely spectacular. Shame you can't race at night for every single race, but
I agree, Crofty. Shame we can't race at night for every single race. Night races are just more fun because you get to see the cars just look amazing.
right, defending champions, Red Bull, constructors champions in 2022. Team bosses Christian Horner, I believe, Rachel Brooks is with him now.
Oh, we're going to hear from Christian Horner, who's finally put on a Red Bull shirt. Let's hear what he has to say. Basically saying we'll find out next week how competitive they are, which is totally true. It's a bit of early days to be deciding the pecking order because I mean, even just look at the times. Like teams are sort of all over the place. I mean, you've got Guan Yu Zhou in 5th and Bottas in 10th. Hulkenberg in 9th and Magnussen in 17th. That just shows you the difference in the times that they run and things like that. Although Zhou ran the morning sessions, that's actually quite a good time from him. Sainz as well ran in the morning session. I mean, look at that, 7/10 separates Sainz and Leclerc. 7/10 separates Hamilton and Russell. That doesn't seem like a lot, but in Formula One, that's huge. 7/10. You'd think teammates would usually be within a couple of tenths of each other if they were running the same plan, which is why we've always been saying testing times are not indicative of anything, because who knows what plan they're actually running. On board with Alonso now. And the good thing about the night races is they wear the clear visors. You can actually see into through the visors. You can see how the drivers are looking.
They're getting into the same realms that they were back then, back in those days. They're a bit smarter and obviously have better tools with the wind tunnels and computational design, that element of things they didn't have back in those days, in the 70s. So
Ocon on a lap now. We could see him move up the timings from last.
set up the car, and that would never go away. So yeah, I know Christian said, yeah, we did stuff with it last year.
30.5. He's a second down on Verstappen, which is much better than the 5.7 seconds that he currently is down. We should hopefully see him get much closer to Gasly on this lap.
Potentially a bit of a nightmare because you're going to be going to the front foot just that little bit earlier too.
So he's coming up to turn 11 now. Through that swooping left-hander and then into the sweeping right. Coming up to cut the timing beam now. He's 2.1 seconds down. He's losing so much time. Ocon just doesn't seem to have control of the car the way Gasly did earlier. He just isn't finding the time. He should probably move out of last, but I'm thinking only as high as 18th, and that's exactly where he slots into. Ocon 18th, 2.4 seconds off the pace. 5/10ths off his teammate. I mean, big gaps between teammates here. So we've got Hamilton out on track. An hour and a half to go on this first day of testing. Not on a time, well, not on a push lap because he's not using DRS down through zone 3, sorry, in Bahrain.
And of course, they're only allowed to use half scale or 60% maximum wind tunnel models. You can't run the car, the full scale wind tunnel anymore with a full scale car in there. So it's made the life of aerodynamicists much harder than it once was. Wind tunnel time for this year. It talks about a lot. Together with the cost, F1 now has a sliding scale upwards or downwards from 100%. Yeah. Of time that you can spend developing your car in wind tunnels. I suppose it's a bit like success balance, but with guys, isn't it? The more successful you are, the less wind tunnel time you get rather than the more ballast that you put on your car. So I did find a really handy chart to put into context and see where his Hamilton going up. I've seen him do that a couple of times actually, and he's not the only one coming out for that big release. It will of course presumably in 8 days' time, from 8 days' time. So just to put into context, Aston Martin were 7th, weren't they, in the Constructors' Championship last year. It's an old face there, that's Jerome D'Ambrosio.
Jerome D'Ambrosio down at Mercedes. They haven't, at least I'm not aware of if they've announced who's taken on the Chief Strategy Officer role that James Vowles obviously vacated to go and become team principal at Williams.
He's here and he's with the team now. Well, we'll go. Yeah. Right, where were you? Yes, Winter. 100% is for Aston Martin. Yeah? Who gets for that 100% during an aerodynamic testing period, which can be 8, 9, or 10 weeks, depending on the system works on aerodynamic testing periods, 304 wind tunnel runs. Yeah? That's 100%.
I'm hearing McLaren still have brake issues. Norris is out on track, but it's not been a great test for the McLaren boys today. Oh. Red Bull only got left with 201 wind tunnel runs because of that punishment that they picked up. It does show that the cost cap does have some teeth. Logan Sargent and Lewis Hamilton having a little bit of a race there. Ah, Franz Tost is on the screen. I actually quite like the polo that AlphaTauri have come out with this year, or the sort of quarter zip jacket that Franz Tost is on. It's pretty smart. The Orlan logo doesn't look great on it because it's just a big red square out of nowhere, but yes, Formula One. I know I'm watching the Formula One Aramco preseason testing day 1 session 2. I've been here all day. So all of our drivers from this afternoon are now on the circuit. Except from except from Bottas. We've got 9 out of the 10 cars on track just now. No Bottas. But otherwise, everybody is out on circuit. Starting to put in some more laps. Max using the DRS on, according to this, fresh medium tyres. So he could be going for another fastest lap. We've not really seen the softs today of either kind. So we'll just need to wait and see if they debut at some point. So Max starting his timed lap now, 29.6 in the first sector. That's compared to a 29.4 on his all-time fastest. Fernando Alonso, big lock up at turn 10 in the Aston. Max up to 123 laps for the day, which is extremely impressive, to be fair.
Thank you very much, Rachel. Love Franz Tost as we do. Love AlphaTauri as we do. For those of you saying, why is it we can't spot the difference between the AlphaTauri and the Haas this year? Yep. We got our word cut out. That was earlier on as well. And it's funny because you picked me up on it, laughing about, oh, that's the AlphaTauri. I think you'll find it went through turn 12. And it's quite a nice tyre rear shot the car. It came towards us, and yeah, but look, you can see why. It was just like, that is the house. No, it's not the house. And then, of course,
The Aston Martin seems to be bouncing a lot just in this replay. I see a lot of cars having quite bad porpoising at this test, which is not what I expected.
the onboard, you can tell the difference. Is the off-board shot when the car comes towards you, it's got the white nose, the red tail wing, and that kind of, well, the carbon, that dark colour. It looks so much like the AlphaTauri when they come towards you. Yeah, you've got your work cut out. The start of race, he does. Oh, so it's good. And all four of them, who are likely to be together, aren't they? In all honesty, on the track. All four of them are coming down towards you. And it's on. Yes. We'll work on it. It's not a problem. All the colours of the rainbow. We seem to have settled in F1 this year on the old Henry Ford adage. Any colour you want, as long as it's black. Yeah. But there is. So we talked about weight saving, in terms of the exposed carbon fibre that you can see.
The Haas doing some laps at the moment.
There is also another side to it, that with many more races that are back to back or triple headers, quite often repairs need to be done, on the road, as it were, or repairs need to be done quickly after crash damage all weekend.
Quite very far down. It's going to be about, nearly 7 seconds down. Verstappen comes back into the pits. Quite happy with his work.
Which is very, very expensive. I mean, air freight costs have gone up a huge amount. Now, with exposed carbon fibre, it doesn't need painting after the fixed paint. You don't need to send it all the way back to the factory to get the paint job. So, once again, like the Haas pit shed, as has been suggested, rather than because it's now got a little bit smaller than
Big bouncing on the Haas too. To be fair, when you see it on the Ferrari, you kind of expect it on the Haas. It's strange. I expected if any car was going to be really affected by the bounce, it would probably still be the Mercedes. But it doesn't seem to be porpoising anywhere near as much. The Mercedes and the Red Bull probably look the most planted. I mean, I'm not sure if you guys agree with me, but that's certainly the what I'm picking up is that it's mainly the Mercedes. It's mainly the Mercedes and the Red Bull that look quite good. So McLaren have just called the repairs that they had to do to Lando's wheelbarrow as precautionary. It seemed to be taking a long time to be precautionary repairs, to be honest. That's, of course, McLaren's official line. That's not to say that there isn't something deeper there. It's very little wind, 1 kilometre an hour. Track temp down to 28, with air temp down to 23, according to the FIA's weather provider. So Mercedes have now cleared their century, with Lewis having completed 43 laps to Russell's 69. Ferrari over 100. I think Williams have actually got... Williams have got 1 lap less than Red Bull. So they're getting the laps in. I think the only team not to be into a century of laps is McLaren. Oh, and Alpine. And Aston Martin have actually got the least laps on the board. If my sums are right, that's 7. No, it's McLaren have got the least laps aboard, with them just 77 for the day. So I think tomorrow we should have all 20 drivers, but that one is still to be confirmed, I'm pretty sure, with Aston Martin. Just gonna try and find that now.
between what he felt last year in the Alpine and now you always pick up freedom of the car from one to the next. And although the lap times are quite similar and they look pretty much the same if you spin them off their paint, it'd be hard to tell the difference. But wow, they feel different when you're inside the car.
Ah, there we go. I can check. So, 2. No, we don't have all 20 tomorrow. At the moment, we only have 18 confirmed, with Aston Martin still to firm up their lineup. So tomorrow it's Verstappen, then Perez, Sainz and Leclerc, Hamilton, Russell, Ocon, Gasly, Norris, Piastri. Guan Yu Zhou is taking the whole day in Alfa Romeo. Aston Martin is TBC. It's Magnussen, then Hulkenberg in the Haas. Tsunoda, then De Vries in the Alpha Tauri. And Logan Sargent is taking the whole day in the Williams. 1 hour 11 minutes to go. Richard should hopefully be joining us shortly. Let's check the Discord and see when he might be stopping by. So we're talking about the driver lineup for tomorrow. I can also tell you some of the turn 5 lineup. It'll be myself in the morning, for definite. The afternoon, let me have a quick look. If Richard's free, it'll be Richard taking you through the afternoon session. If not, we may have to miss it, unfortunately. And then Saturday, Ben will be here all day. And Nia will once again be joining us in the morning. And Richard, if he's free, will be there. I might pop in and out just to get some quick updates on the session from work. Sorry. Just to get some quick updates from work. But in the mainstay, unfortunately, I'm working. Just over an hour to go in the session. Let's have a rundown of the leaderboards. We've got Verstappen P1, Sainz P2, Hamilton P3, Albon P4, Zhou P5, Alonso P6, Leclerc's in P7 with Russell P8, debutant Logan Sargent in P9, Hulkenberg P10 making his return to Formula 1 for his first full season since 2019. Bottas is P11, Drogovic another debutant P12, Tsunoda's P13 with full season debutant Nick De Vries in 14th. Gasly's P15 with Piastri, our final debutant of the season, P16. Magnussen's P17, Ocon P18, Norris P19, and Sergio Perez, the 20th driver on the grid, is not taking part in today's test. Lance Stroll is also not taking part in today's test after injuring his wrist in an accident through the week. We don't know for certain if he's going to make it to the race next weekend, but what we do know for definite is that he will not be taking part in any of this weekend's pre-season test. Lance Stroll is out of the test. So we're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we should be taking us through the final hour of the session. We will see you shortly. Bye for now. Good. Welcome back, Richard. I will set up the stream to get ready to go for us on Discord, but I'm just taking a really quick break because I need a pee. So I'm back, just getting set up to bring Richard into the stream. Not much has really happened, but we do have 1 hour to go of this session. So, yeah, if you just want to put anything in the chat, I'm here. I can see it, but we're just getting a quick scene change to get everything set up for Richard.
Yeah. Let me just mute that a second. Okay. Welcome along, everyone. I'm currently trying to read up to watch it on Sky, so I can't actually see anything right. Max Verstappen is still fastest. What a shock. Yeah. I was watching it in my lecture, I won't lie.
Unmute so that people can at least hear me.
Um,
Hello, I'm back, everybody. Did you see
Hi
my
back, everybody.
Did you see my post about the tires? Because
Yeah,
we're up to 6 tires for this year for racing.
prototype.
Oh
Woot
yeah, if you
woot.
include the prototype tires at the
Mm.
test. But the prototype is the same as C3 tires, just made in Turkey.
Oh, nice.
That's literally the only difference. But yeah, no, it's been a half decent day of testing so far. I don't know how much you've seen or heard.
Alright, hang on. I just got Crofty blast in my ear.
Oh dear.
Whoa.
Is that the live timing page or?
Yeah.
Hmm.
have the offer anymore.
Oh no, you have to pay full price.
Uh, oh, but if I get it now, it's £1 a month cheaper.
Can't you get the F1 season pass that gives you access
There
to
isn't one.
just there was before, but it just gave you Sky Sports F1.
Yeah,
I mean, really, what you're
they're all
missing,
going up. That's ridiculous.
what you're missing just now is they've put the lights on, so everyone's racing at night.
Hmm.
Yeah, thank you, Crofty. But yeah, why couldn't they just call the new tyre the C2 and bump everything up a number rather than introduce C0? Makes oh, we want to make it easier for the fans, but C0. Why? And watch them not run the C0 the same way they used to have the super hard. Because they're not using it in the first 3 races. It's 1, 2, 3, and then 2, 3, 4 for the other 2. See, the gallery doesn't look as bad at night because the red isn't as bright anymore. You'll see when you get logged in.
I have bitten the bullet.
Oh dear. Oh yeah, what's your availability for testing, by the way? You never put it in the Discord.
I'm around tomorrow
Okay, good.
and Saturday morning.
Because right now there's no one for Friday afternoon.
Okay, cool. Oh, God.
um,
Naturally, I've got a bloody update for Now TV's player.
love that.
Well, to be fair, I haven't used it since the end of last season.
Oh, they're discussing the sliding scale of wind tunnel testing. That's what about the past hour has been. No, it's not a penalty for being champions, Crofty. That's just the rules.
It's a way to view it as a penalty.
The actual penalty they got was for breaking the rules.
Yeah, well, yeah, but there we go. We'll close the live timing now.
Woo! Richard can finally watch it. Nia said she might drop in at 4, so that would be the last half an hour of the session as well. And Ben will be here on Saturday.
And Saturday only.
So Saturday morning's going to be a busy session.
Yeah.
Because it'll be you, Nia, and Ben.
Yeah.
And you'll have missed it earlier on because you were dead, but Mel from Fastest Lap dropped in the morning session.
I did kind of guess, considering she was in the Discord.
Yeah, dropped in for the morning session, which was nice. It meant I didn't just need to ramble the way I have been for the past 3 hours. So tired. You can tell which one's the Haas and which one's the AlphaTauri by looking at the halo. The AlphaTauri's halo's red. The Haas's isn't. Simple.
They're literally going for the corporate wants to tell the difference between this and this picture.
Yeah. Which call it? Because it was actually quite a good question that someone asked, that if two liveries are too similar, can the FIA make them change it?
Yes, is the answer.
Yeah, Crofty was like, I don't know.
They have to get approved.
Yeah.
So, interesting. Oh my god.
I mean, is he on a good lap? He's he's actually only 2 tenths down on Verstappen. This is a very good lap from Alonso.
Where has this come from?
I mean, to be fair, Verstappen's fast as a 1:32.8. It's not exactly a quick time.
No.
Considering the reason I pinned that message in chat was because Pole was a 1:30. Oh, he went purple in sector 3, a 1:32.866.
Damn.
So he's only 300ths behind Verstappen after that.
Oh yeah, you're definitely ahead of me.
Oh yeah.
He's going
Although,
into the last corner. And he's just crossed the line.
yeah, it was the same earlier with Nia and Mel. I was ahead of both of them. It's probably because I'm watching the actual cable
Yeah.
feed.
Whereas I'm on Now
Whereas you're on
TV.
Now
So.
TV. I think Nia was on Sky Go.
Oh, did they drop the? They dropped the. They dropped the Red Bull.
That's the second time they've dropped the Red Bull today. Because they dropped it in the morning session as well. They'll maybe need to get that checked out a bit. They've got
Is it
some
at the rear
funny
as well
tricks.
in the morning?
No, it was at the front in the morning.
Oh, well, they've had one of each now. What a bonus.
Quick, put some sticky tape on it and then it'll work.
The AlphaTauri garage have the bubbly on that.
No, it was the McLaren garage earlier on.
Oh
The
god.
heat guns and basically tin foil trying to stick it to the wheel brows because they're all broke.
Oh nice.
It was quite funny. I was trying to check something on the live timing earlier on. I was scrolling through it. They just seem to have a party with the systems in the hour break. They put the medical car and safety car 3 under investigation for failure to follow the race director's instructions, but they came to no further action.
Oh, what a shock.
And then the safety car got a black and orange flag.
Oh. Kevin Magnussen's favourite.
Yeah, the meatball. But yeah, they seem to be having a disco with the flags. That's what I was saying though. I think there's a red flag test as part of this session, if I remember last year correctly. Where even though there's no problem, they'll throw a red flag, but they'll then do a standing start on the grid.
Neat.
Basically to test the restarts, and just in case. I'm pretty sure they've done that last year. So we'll wait and see. Because they did do a virtual safety car test with about 15 minutes to go in the morning session.
Audio. What the fuck?
McLaren haven't been having a good test. Norris has climbed up the titans. He was last for a long time.
Yeah, he was down in like 18th when I was in my lecture.
McLaren actually have done the least amount of mileage of anybody, unless
Oh
Norris
god.
has finally caught up. Strangely, Mercedes not done as much mileage as they usually do. They've had quite a quiet day.
Well, I mean, George Russell had a nice amount of laps this morning.
Yes, he did. He did. But yeah, usually they come out and just keep going, but not today. They might do that over the next couple of days. But I don't know if you heard me mention, every car seems to be having a lot of porpoise, exception of Red Bull and, of all cars, the Mercedes,
Yeah.
of which, oh, you can see it on the Alfa Romeo when it comes up on your screen in a minute.
I've got a speed trap of Bottas, but I'm being shown Charles Leclerc.
Yeah. Oh, it's all right. It was great when Lewis went for a timed lap earlier, and it showed me the speed data for Russell. Yeah, you should see it in a moment or so.
Ooh, okay.
That's what we were playing in the morning session. Is it bumps or porpoising?
See, because Bahrain is quite a bumpy circuit.
Yeah, that's what we were thinking.
Because that doesn't seem as aggressive as like Alpha Tauri last year. That to me seemed more bumps than porpoise.
But then I'm watching Charles Leclerc come up the straight now, and he's bouncing all over the place. Ferrari seem to be really affected by porpoising this year for whatever reason. Because they didn't really have that issue as much last year.
Oh yeah, he's definitely headbanging on that one, and that's not even the final straight yet.
Yeah. Wait to see him coming up the main straight.
Yeah, so I'm just on now. Yeah, he is, isn't he? Look at him go. It's not huge porpoising, but it is consistent.
Yeah, it's starting early and it's just keeping going.
But it's not getting stupidly aggressive.
Yeah, it's not quite as bad as last year's test,
No.
but and you should know you work for Mercedes. You know the truth to this question. But yet Crofty's basically going, will they go for a low fuel run? Will they go for a performance run, considering how badly they done last year? Because it's not exactly Mercedes' style in testing to go all out.
No, it's not.
What I did notice that I didn't know about is McLaren's changeable sponsors, which was really interesting to see. I don't know if it'll happen, but if you when you go on board with Norris, watch the like headrest. I didn't do it, But earlier on, where it says hashtag Chrome, that just
Yeah.
flashed and changed the Chrome logo. I'm like, what is going on? What is this? It never done it this time, but I was dead confused. And the orange bit of the halo turned blue, and then went back to orange.
Weird.
I mean, I don't quite see the usefulness of it, but it looks cool.
But is it actually doing it, or is it just like a augmented reality camera thing?
No, I think it actually did it. Like,
How would they do that?
an LED strip on the.
How do they do that? That's just added weight.
Yeah, I know, I don't understand it, but it did it. I even rewound the TV to make sure I saw what I thought I saw. But yeah, I don't quite get it either, but it happened. Norris 8/10ths down on the current lap. Could improve his time, slip up to maybe 7th if he can keep this pace up, overtake Joe.
That would be deleted properly though, because he went wide at 4.
Oh, Max's fastest lap would have been deleted as well. He went wide at 4 and 15.
Oh, okay, that's all right then.
Yeah, they're not policing track limits.
It's just testing, so
But then next week when we start deleting all the lap times, we go, oh, I
yeah.
took that line last week. And deal with it. Oof, big snap from Lewis.
What's the very front logo on the McLaren? Like right on the nose cone?
I don't know, you're the one with pictures.
Yeah, I'm just loading them up. Oh, it's the 60. As he was coming down the straight, the 60 seemed to change colour.
It possibly
But like
did.
rainbow spectrum.
That might just have been the lights as well, though.
Yeah,
I never caught that, to be honest. I'll wait and see if I
but
can
it,
see it on another lap.
it looked cool.
Yeah. That Aston looks really good, actually.
Yeah.
So we've only had the one red flag today.
9 minutes in.
Yeah, 8 minutes it took. We were just getting settled into the stream. It's like, there's been a red flag. Yeah, I think it's. See how like holographic, um, like stickering. I
Yeah,
think that's what's on the 60 because I spotted
it's
it
like
there.
good, isn't it?
Yeah, it does look quite snazzy. I think they should have brought back the silver McLaren for the 60th anniversary.
Yeah, it's definitely that sort of like film. It's on the side one as well.
Mm.
That's cool.
Might just be doing it because it's a night race. I know it's only
Yeah,
testing, but it will
yeah.
be
I'd
night race
imagine
next
that
week.
it would. I'd imagine it would take the circuit lights to get it to work
Yeah.
properly. I don't imagine it working quite as well under natural sunlight.
I never noticed that at all earlier, so I don't think it does.
Ocon's bouncing about a bit.
Yeah, Ocon's not having a good session, to be completely honest.
Well, neither's Alpine in general. Let's look at that.
I mean, he's not on the prototype tyre though. That clearly had yellow markings. The prototype tyre has no markings. Did you see Haas's tiny pit wall?
No.
Haas only have 3 seats on their pit wall this season.
Why?
It's saving them $250,000 a season in shipping costs.
Wow. Fair play.
I know. Yeah, they were talking about it earlier. So
Because say, what's the standard? Like 6?
yeah, 5 or 6. Lewis is on the C1?
Look at all that flow viz on the Williams.
I got confused earlier on when the Williams came over with the orange flow viz. I thought they'd just enhanced the Duracell branding. I'm so confused on what's going on here. On board with Lewis Hamilton. Yeah, the Mercedes doesn't really look to be bouncing that much. There's tiny wee bounces, but that could just be the Bahrain bumps.
Yeah, when you're on board with him, that's a lot smoother. Like, there's a little bit.
Yeah.
I'd say there's a little bit, but there's always going to be a little bit.
Exactly.
Just from the nature of the design of the cars. It's ground effect. You're always going to get a little bit.
Exactly.
But it's nowhere near what the Alpine was doing.
And it's nowhere near what their car was doing last year.
And then, yeah, on the offboard shot, most of that was definitely the Bahrain circuit.
Yeah.
But when you ride behind him, you can see there's a little bit, and then it sort of settles out. It's weird. It's not like it didn't seem to be more at top speed. It was more getting to top speed. He bounces more.
Which, I mean, I think is good because it won't really scrub off any top speed then.
No, exactly. But
I think that was part of their problem last year, was that the bouncing was scrubbing off top speed. So
I can't say I've ever seen anyone porpoise in that sort of like profile before.
No.
Weird.
Yeah, it's a good point. They're talking about the new qualifying format that we're going to trial at 2 races this year. What do you think about it, where it's mandatory tyres for each session?
I think that's fine. You know? I think that it probably will save a lot of costs in the long run, because people would use the same set of hards for the whole of the session, the same set of mediums, and probably a couple of sets of softs for Q3, instead of like sprint weekends where it's just 6 sets of softs.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think the revised qualifying format is going to get trialled at sprints. I think that will remain just you're locked in on softs.
Yeah.
Which admittedly is good. It adds to the whole sprint weekend is all about just going flat out.
Flat out, pure speed.
Yeah.
Hell for leather, go for it. But
I wonder where they'll trial it.
Dunno.
And what you would have missed earlier, F1 Academy have announced a calendar.
Yeah, I did see that. And they're going to America.
Yeah, I genuinely thought they'd go to Britain.
Yeah, same.
I guess the USA has doesn't usually carry as many support series, so there's more time to fit in 3 races.
Yeah, and W Series was very popular over there, so that does kind of make sense.
So weird seeing Fred Vasseur in a red polo shirt. It's also really weird seeing Mercedes in position 3 in the pits.
Mm.
Oh, hi, Jack Doohan. He's on TV again. He was on comms earlier. 30 minutes to go of the session. We'll probably be expecting a systems test of some sort in about 15 minutes, whether it's another virtual safety car test, a full safety car test, or a red flag test remains to be seen. I mean, what would be really interesting is if a team gave their third driver, like, testing slots. Because obviously there's
I
6
think it should be
slots.
mandatory.
Yeah. So use your third driver, go 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1 or something.
Yeah. Or just everyone gets one day.
Yeah.
So
I think I worked it out. There's going to be 18 drivers tomorrow, depending on what
yeah,
Aston decide to do.
yeah, that's sort of the big question mark. So
Because Sargent is getting the full day in the Williams, and someone else is getting the full day. I think it's Joe in the Alfa Romeo is getting the full day.
I thought it was Perez.
No, they're splitting tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
Perez is
it's
getting all of
Perez
Saturday.
gets the whole day. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Where's it gone? No, I actually saved the photo and didn't put it. Dum.
First race in 9 days, 22 hours, 58 minutes, and 25 seconds. Set your alarms, guys. It's nearly here. Formula One is nearly back. So Verstappen out on the C3s, I believe.
Um, yeah, I'd
It's
say
dot
so.
brackets, so I'm sure that's the C3.
Yeah, because the yellow line is far too consistent round.
Mm.
But yeah, that looks really smooth, doesn't it?
Yeah, it just looks planted.
That's yeah. Red Bull dominance incoming.
Yeah, see, that's my only worry. Red Bull are showing their hand really early.
But Red Bull are literally just going to be running the same car as last year.
Mm. Well, not according to Adrian Newey. Apparently it's 80% new or something.
Yeah, but I'm looking at the car and I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, I think it's all on the floor and things.
I'd imagine so. The floor edge looks funky, but I can't remember what that looked like, and everyone keeps changing those anyway. So
They change race to race.
yeah,
So I'm not sure if you were there when Crofty made the good point earlier on about the B-spec car and how, yeah, it might have been Lewis Hamilton's first ever season without a win, but that's probably mainly due to the cost cap rather than Mercedes.
maybe
Because they could have showed up to Bahrain for the test last year, seen that their car was crap, and went, oh shit.
change it.
Yeah, and do what McLaren done in 2009 and just build a B-spec car. But due to the cost cap, well, you just can't do that.
Yeah.
That's the thing I think the cost cap's taken away from us, is just that development race.
It slowed it down more than anything,
Mm.
which I think is a good thing for the smaller teams.
Yeah.
Because there's no way that a team like Williams or Haas would be able to just go, let's just make a completely different car in the middle of the season.
Yeah, that's true.
When we all know that Red Bull, Ferrari, Mercedes would be able to afford that sort of thing.
I mean, if Mercedes thought they had a bad car, they could always just donate the old one to Williams. Here you go. Have the car that's currently in third place.
I
We're going to be
think the
better.
FIA might have questions about that.
It's just part of their intense technical agreement.
Oh yeah, totally.
It's a bit
But
like Ferrari and Haas.
there's still a certain amount of it has to be designed in house.
Be a shame if a USB was to be left in a cafe.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Or the guy in the coffee shop was a Ferrari fan.
Yeah. Yeah, the guy in the guy working the printer was a Ferrari fan. Can't believe that's how Spygate got caught.
Right? That's absolutely insane.
The guy
And the
working in
fact
the
that he was just
print
like,
shop
how do
was
I
a Ferrari
contact
fan.
Maranello?
Yeah. He gave them a phone. Hello, I have your confidential documents here.
Yeah.
What do?
Fair play to him.
Yeah.
I hope he got rewarded by Ferrari for that.
Oh, surely. Surely man got hospitality for life.
You'd like to think. Or at the very least, a fucking all expenses paid trip and factory tour of Maranello.
Yeah, and then Monza GP.
Yeah. That would be so cool.
Mm.
To be invited by Ferrari to Ferrari as a thank you for helping Ferrari. Wow, okay, Alonso missed the apex by about 3 miles there at turn 8.
You know, the worst thing is he still went green.
Oh my god. At least he hit the apex at 10. He's driving like I drive on the game. Apex is a very hit and miss.
Yeah, apexes are a mere suggestion.
Sometimes I follow those guidelines, sometimes I do not. Whoa!
Yeah, he went quite wide in 15.
Yeah,
I think
almost in the gravel,
if he hadn't, that probably could have been P1.
which is interesting for Aston Martin.
Yeah. Lap time deleted, track limits. I almost missed that little pop-up. Oh yeah,
Cheeky little.
they deleted someone's track time, lap time for track limits. I think that was the safety car as well.
Ah,
No, he got a black and white flag. Sorry, for track limits.
Nice.
Bert Mylander was being a bit frisky. Black and white flag, track limits. Immediately followed by the black and orange flag.
Damaged car game.
So 20 minutes to go. No real change in the timings since we last went through them, really. We'll go through them when we find out what this test will be. So basically, once a yellow flag gets thrown, we'll know they're about to do something.
Oh, Mel's in. Go. Do I want crisps or chocolate?
Chocolate.
Chocolate it is. What a long day indeed.
So how do you think I
Oh,
feel? I've been here since 7.
I'm going to be here for it tomorrow, don't worry.
Yeah. Well, I thought you were only doing one session tomorrow.
No, tomorrow's my full day off.
Ah, so you're doing both sessions.
Mm.
Hmm. Well, I'll be here for the morning session, so feel free to invite friends. See if we can get Sonia to join.
Oh shit, who's going to run it on? Because I'm not on the Turn 5 account, am I?
We'll just log into the Turn 5 account.
Are you just using Twitch Studio?
Yeah.
Okay, I might have through that.
And even if you log out on OBS, all your scenes and stuff get kept.
Mm.
So, because I did try that at first, but OBS was being a bitch. So I just switched to Twitch Studio, and it's run so much smoother. And it came preset with certain scenes and stuff. It was great. Man, I didn't need to try and set anything up. And Twitch Studio has inbuilt alerts, as well
Beautiful.
as inbuilt chat display and something else. Chat, alerts. Yeah, I think that's it. What?
Mel's put in the chat. Might start spooning us out of the jar. Desperate times call for desperate measures.
Oh, I don't actually have the chat open. Should probably open that. I mean, I can't even check it on my PC because to get this screen to work that's on, I need to just display my entire computer screen. Yeah, I did. I did nearly cry at the livery ranking.
Oh no.
I'll I'll give you a heads up. Alpine and Alpha Tauri were not the bottom two.
Why?
I know. Yeah, the deodorant thing made Nia and I laugh earlier. Especially because we weren't paying attention to the chat. We just looked down. It was like, wait, you can't smell me? Huh? What? Oh, Norris has went green green, but he's up to fifth actually. A 1:33.4.
Hello.
500ths quicker than Hamilton.
About Tinder? Oh god.
Do I do I want to ask? I was dead confused at this earlier and I didn't know what was going on. Oh. I mean, good for you. Yeah, because I think Mel made that comment and I just never heard it and was so confused. Because Nia and I just buckled him. What the hell's going on, guys? What's happening here? Right, so 15 minutes to go. If they're going to do anything, it should be soon. I'd enjoy a red flag test because then we get to see all the cars do a proper practice start. I mean, if you still have that match, then go for it. We've picked up a few followers today as well, Richard. We're up to 10 on the podcast.
Hey, get on.
Yellow flag, sector 2.
Genuine or
No virtual safety car test.
okay, cool.
Oh my god. The Aston Martin's even more green than normal.
Yeah.
Virtual safety car deployed.
Well, hey. I think they got the side of Alonso's helmet with the Flovis paint. Like, because the side of his tear-off's gone green.
Yeah, that's possible. I mean, I suppose they're sitting saying like, oh, if the team had hoped to do like a 250 km/h aero test, they knew the virtual safety car was coming.
Yeah.
I didn't realise they sprayed it on, to be honest.
Honestly, Alpine's not actually already in the pink livery.
Yeah, I thought they would just come to the test in the pink.
Yeah.
When you consider, for instance, Red Bull have started building next week's car.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely got the side of Alonso's helmet.
Yeah. The timing tower's crashed. What Mel, Nia, and myself did pick up on earlier on is they've actually changed the timing tower slightly. It's much easier to read.
um, I will comment on that when it comes back.
When it comes back, yeah. But in terms of the actual times and stuff on the tower, it's so
Oh.
much simpler to read.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it's just sitting at virtual safety car.
Yep.
That's as much as I'm getting.
That means that's as much as I got for the next 30 seconds then.
Yep. I'll let you know when it comes back. You can prepare yourself.
Alrighty.
Also waiting on the VSC ending signal. That should hopefully be coming soon. Red Bull pit stop. Hopefully they don't break the jack. Wait, they didn't drop the car.
Incredible.
10 points to Red Bull.
And just taking the mick out of Crofty as the one. For reference, I've just gone through the pit stop.
But what's your timer for the session?
10:20 now.
Well, I'm at 9:50, so I'm exactly 30 seconds ahead.
30 seconds, yeah. That wasn't a bad guess, was it? I said 30 seconds.
Yeah. Charles Leclerc coming out on C3s.
Reasonable.
They're keeping the VSC deployed for a bit longer than they did in session 1.
Maybe they're just testing a few things and pieces behind the scenes.
Safety car is ending.
Oh, thank God.
Jeez, Ferrari have put massive, great supports on Leclerc's front wing.
Yeah. What are those cable stays?
Please don't break front wing cable stays.
Yeah.
Remember Seb in Bahrain? I've found the FIA logo on Ferrari's car.
Where is it?
It's on the rear wing.
What? We're all looking in the wrong place. We've been bamboozled.
I've not found it on the Mercedes yet, but it's on the rear wing of the Ferrari.
Alright, I'm loading up my photos.
It's on like the bottom of the rear wing, just behind the tyres.
I don't think it's in there.
No, but you'll be able to see it if you watch the car on track. You can spot it.
Yeah.
See, the red bit that goes down, it's just beside that. It's not actually on the red, but it's beside the red.
My mouse double-clicked when I closed my photo. It closed the stream.
10 points.
I hate this mouse.
7 minutes to go.
Oh, I'm now 35 seconds behind you then. I'm on 7:30 now.
You're 40 seconds behind me then.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the Ferrari isn't going very quick with these cable stays on. I mean, if they ran the struts in the race purely for structural reasons, I don't think they're illegal at all.
I wouldn't imagine so.
if they provided some sort of performance benefit, which I don't understand how they would, then they wouldn't be illegal. But
It might do purely by virtue of the fact that it's preventing flex.
mm,
Right? If it stops the flexion of the front wing, then it might hold it in a space that gives it a greater downforce. So you could argue that it's providing a performance upgrade, but
but it
you could
also
equally argue that it is for stability's purpose.
and it also destroys the aero profile of the front wing.
True.
Even then, it's still bouncing like mad. And it looks even more dramatic because obviously the sparks are getting kicked up now at night.
Yeah.
Right, give us some slow motion shots of the Mercedes. I need to find the FIA logo. I love that they've just strapped a GoPro to the side of the Ferrari. What's the other car that we need to find it on? The Mercedes and the Alpine. It wasn't in any of their photos.
That is really interesting.
What's that?
That camera setup.
Yeah, it's literally just a GoPro strapped to the side of the Ferrari.
Mm.
Can we get a timing tower back, please, Formula One? Lewis going for a lap on the C1? Which one has brackets?
Which colour?
White.
C1 is brackets.
Yeah, he's on C1 then.
Yeah, of the compounds, the higher number has the bracket.
Okay.
So C0, C1, 1 is bracket. C2, C3, 3 is bracket. 4, 5, 5 is bracket. I'm just going to turn my light on because I just realised how dark my camera looks.
Yeah.
Ooh. There we go. Holy knuckles. Oh, a bit of a slide there.
I love that they've given up showing the time count. It's just the countdown to the first race.
Yep. Which for me is wrong.
Yeah.
Another big snap for Hamilton this lap.
Yeah, it's not been a clean lap, to say the least. Oh yeah, I forgot they had 4 days last year.
Mm.
I liked it 2 years ago when they had 6 days.
Yeah.
6 8-hour sessions was amazing. 30 seconds to go. The checkered flag is about to fall.
Lewis had a big old drift out of, I think that was 8 they're showing on the replay.
Yeah. He'd quite a burnout out of one of the corners as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was the
I
one.
don't think that is Esteban Ocon. It cut to the starter's tower. He's waving the checkered flag. Esteban Ocon. No. No.
Yes.
Just because he's in a blue shirt doesn't mean it's Ocon. So Lewis didn't make the flag. His session is over. Driver still on laps. Magnussen, De Vries, and Leclerc are still out and can put another lap in. But I don't think any of them are on particularly fast laps. Is that you just seeing the Ocon thing?
Yeah, but I'm just listening to Ant do some
Yeah, do Crofty.
demented commentary.
To be fair, with
And
the Alpha, whatever it's called, that was actually quite accurate.
yeah. Nick De Vries making moves there.
Good pass, good pass.
After almost rear-ending them at 10.
Yeah. I thought we were going to have a shunt in testing.
That would have been really funny.
I think someone might put it in the wall between now and Saturday afternoon. And that has the checkered flag on day one. All drivers are either in the pits or have crossed the line for the final time.
Esteban's just drifting around the track.
So Leclerc, the only car still on track. He's just about to make his way into the pits. And that is all cars away. And as such, session done. Day one done.
Hurrah!
Huzzah. Little pit stop practice first.
Every opportunity.
Yep. Oh, sorry. There was another car on track because it just passed the Ferrari.
Nick? No, can't have been. Kevin.
And here is the classification about to come up. Day one results. Max Verstappen is P1 with Alonso P2. Sainz and Leclerc make it a Ferrari 3-4 with Norris coming in P5. Lewis Hamilton P6 with Albon coming up behind him P7. Then we've got Zhou Guanyu, George Russell and Logan Sargent rounds off the top 10. 1.48 7 seconds separating the top 10. Let me just wait on the graphic updating. And P11 to 19 is Hulkenberg 11, Bottas 12, De Vries and Drugovic 13 and 14, Yuki Tsunoda P15 with Gasly P16, Esteban Ocon rounding out a pretty poor result for Alpine in P17, Piastri not having a most memorable debut P18, and Kevin Magnussen rounds out the grid at P19, 2.25 seconds slower than Verstappen.
I will say, I'd hold off on any kind of like comparisons between drivers yet, because any teams that have run both drivers have the difference in sessions to count for.
Oh, yeah.
And we were seeing a lot of good times in this session.
They're throwing the schedule up, so once again, join us at roughly 7 a.m. tomorrow morning for the morning session on day 2. And then, of course, the times are exactly the same on day 3 as well.
Bizarre.
Richard, you were saying?
So, I mean, obviously we got the difference in the sessions, but I think Logan Sargent's had a decent day there.
Yeah, and he's in the car all day tomorrow.
Oh.
So we'll be able to tell a bit more from that as well. Yeah, not so much a comparison between the two drivers, but you would like to think that McLaren would have been higher than P18 after session 1.
You'd like to think. No.
Hulkenberg not too bad as well in 11th. But yeah, Mel agrees with me that it was a rubbish session for McLaren.
Norris has done alright, but Piastri's not there yet.
Apart from the fact that the wheel brows nearly fell off.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything you want to add?
I've just seen a lovely shot of the Alpine having some tin foil put on the wing mirrors.
Yeah, I thought that was bad, but then wait till you see the pictures of them fixing the McLaren.
Oh, God. Well, day 1 done, 2 days to go.
Yep. We'll see how the times develop over the next couple of days.
Cardboard cutout, oh, God. What was the cardboard cutout, Chris?
Mel has a cardboard cutout of Lando Norris for whatever reason.
Is it life size?
No.
Oh, okay.
Pocket size.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
For your birthday.
That's what they all say.
Yeah. Bespoke order.
But yeah, I mean, I think that's it for today then. I'm going to go and sleep, I think, because I'm absolutely knackered.
I've got to go and get food before I go live. Lol. Because it's live stream Thursday night, yeah.
For those of you who have watched on Twitch, if you want to go back and rewatch any of the action from this really encapsulating live stream that we've had, both VODs will be going live on YouTube tonight.
So,
if YouTube uploads them quick enough, of course. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. We will see you tomorrow morning. Ta-ra for now.
I'll see you guys for something.
Big up, Richard.